Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Godforge video. In today's video, I'm gonna go over the 8 things that I found in-game that maybe lots of you might have missed, and maybe people coming in Alpha Wave 2 might miss as well. So, hope this video is gonna help you out, so I guess let's get into it. I do want to mention that obviously because this is alpha, there's lots of stuff that are still going to be subject to change, right? The point of the alpha is to test out things, test out game mechanics, building stuff, squash bugs and whatnot. So obviously everything you're going to see here is subject to change. There's lots of things that I mentioned here that will be actually in the beta, and at launch they will be implemented as quality of life stuff. So we might not have a lot of quality of life stuff now, but they're going to be added on a later stage. So I guess let's start off with the first thing that I personally noticed that maybe it might not be as obvious or a lot of you out there might miss, and that's going to be happening in the info screen. So first thing is going to be the stats. You can see the stats over here. Well, what you might have missed is the fact that you can click the stats, right? You can click the stats and it shows you what these one actually do. It has an explanation, right? Initiative, boost divinity, speed, talks about the turn order, attack about the damage, crits and whatnot. So this is definitely one of the first things that you want to keep in mind. Now, I guess this is a good transition into the number 2 one, which again, it might not be as obvious depending if you played gacha games in the past or not, or if this is your first one, then, you know, you might not understand, but most of the time in games, accuracy and resistance kind of go against each other. So if you have higher accuracy than the enemy's resistance, you can land negative effects. If you have high resistance than the enemy's accuracy, you can block those negative effects. Those are pretty simple and straightforward. However, in Godforge, they gave it a little bit of a fun extra spin. You click on it, it does say the stuff that I just explained, but also it says also reduces critical damage inflicted upon this hero. So not only is it going to benefit for you to have a chance to resist the debuffs and the disables, but you also get less critical damage, right, if you get critically hit. That's really amazing. Same principle with the accuracy, have high chance of landing debuffs and disables, but also increases your hero's chance to strong hit. Definitely worth keeping in mind because this can be a really good one. Now, number 2 thing that this is more of a, I guess more of a tip that I personally got from Susie, and that's regarding your leveling up, right? When you go to level up, you need to click and keep leveling them up and then getting, you know, next one to the highest level and then next one and whatnot, and then some of these might not seem as obvious, right? Or some of this might be tedious if you don't have enough fodder, where you need to be like, oh, I don't have enough of these ones. Well, there's cool thing that you can do is like you can use the low level stuff by going over here, right? Get these ones, rank them up to whatever you want, 2, 3, or 4 star, and that's gonna be really, you know, that's gonna be really easy. And I guess this transitions into number 3. First of all, is you can click the star, right? You don't have to pull the slider. For this one, you can just click the star, and then you click autofill and just completes it. Now, you can work on this autofill as well by clicking this one over here, right, the cog, and you can select to have it take rares and epics. Now, I think it's at, I think in this one, like at this point in Alpha Wave 1, it doesn't really count unless they are at higher level, but normally they should pick rares as well. If they don't, just go with spirits. They might introduce a system where you, I think for Alpha Wave 2, where you can sell these and they turn into the equivalent of rank 3 spirits. Now, since we're talking about this and leveling up, let's do an example of like the point number 2. Like I said, let's say you want to try and get these to be higher levels for fodder. You do this, you auto promote, and then you want to go and do the next one. It drops all the way to the top, and you're like, oh my god. Just click this, right? This is a hint from Susie. Just click this, go ahead, do the same thing, get this to 3 star, promote, and then once you're done, it jumps to the top, but it still stays with the lower level ones. So this one should be a really good tip for you in order to, you know, do some of your own quality of life to try and make the experience as fun as possible. Okay, now tip number 4, which again might not be as obvious, is the fact that you're gonna see that rares or above, right? So starting from Ramses, then you go to epics like Bastet, you see that some of the passives are locked. You see that? That means they're not available. Well, the way that you unlock the passives, even though there's no tooltip now, again, they might introduce it for Alpha Wave 2, but the way to unlock their passives is you need to upgrade their abilities, and then you go to Ascend, and you need to have them rank 3. Once you have rank 3, the passives unlock, right? That's something that, again, might not be as obvious, but at rank 3, that's how you unlock the passives. You didn't know, now you know. Now let's go over the sixth one, and this one's going to be related to gear, and it's kind of going to be like a 2-in-1. But if we go to the gear and you see, for example, you go to this tab over here and look through the gear, there's a few things that maybe are not as obvious. Well, first thing is you can sell a piece of gear by clicking this one over here, right? The gold bars. It asks you if you want to sell, then you say yes, sell, and there we go. If you want to lock that piece of gear so you don't accidentally sell it, then you can do that. And then once you try and sell it, it says like, nope, you cannot sell it. It's not going to let you. You have to unlock it first. This one doesn't work yet. This is going to be part of something they're going to introduce later in the game. So definitely, you're going to click it, but it's going to say nothing. It's going to do nothing unless they decide to implement it in Wave 2, which I do not think they're going to do. Now, since we're talking about gear, there's another thing that's really important to know about gear. I guess, first of all, let me show you enhancement. This one, they say they might fix, but you might go over here and like, how do I level it up, right? You're like stuck. Well, how do I do it? You just have to pull the slider, right? Pull the slider, and then it's going to allow you. I know Simon talked about it, and I think they're going to change it. Not sure for Alpha 2, but they're going to change it to have level 1 first, because otherwise it might not seem as obvious. And then you can still sell from over here, or you can lock it from over here if you like the sound of it. But that was not the point. The point that I wanted to mention is, as you progress through the caverns, as you try and get to higher stages, you're going to be getting better gear. So everything starts off with low level stuff, right? Let me go over here. It's too much. We're going to start off with stuff that's just like, I don't know, Eagle set gives you initiative. Invoker set gives you resist. Then let's see which other one can I find. So basic defense set gives you defense, right? These are the base ones. They have different types of stats. I might make this. I think I'm gonna make that video might already be out where I'm talking about the gear sets and what are the stats, because there's like a note that we can have, so I can try and maybe go over that. But what I wanted to mention with this is, as you get higher, there's gonna be some fancier different sets that have extra effects. So as you can see, defense one is just 2-piece. Well, if you look at, for example, body one, it says the 2-piece says increases basic ability damage by 15%, but then you see this one glows up, right? Defender one doesn't, this one glows up. If you click the arrow, it says there's a 4-piece effect. This one heals all allies by 25% of the damage inflicted with basic ability. And then you can click again, and it has a 6-piece ability, grants 15% chance to gain an extra turn after basic ability. This is gonna happen, like I mentioned, for some of the like higher ones. See, Spectre has the same thing. You go over here, Bear, same thing. So definitely keep an eye out on these little arrows. They might not be as obvious, but now you're gonna know, right? Now you're gonna know when you're gonna try and look at the gear sets, like, oh, this one has some extra effects. Let me look at that. Let me see what I can do. And then the last one that I want to mention, which you might not know, or you might know because it's one of the things that I keep talking about. It's one of the best things about the game, is the fact that you can go and use the hero abilities outside of their turn, the hero ultimates, right? Let me show you exactly what I mean. So let's go over this stage. Let's hopefully try and kill stuff really quick, the first wave. But you're going to see that once the image glows up blue, that means your ultimate is ready, right? That one doesn't have a cooldown. That one's all related to the divinity. So let's see, maybe, you know what, let me just go again, because Heimdall just killed the stuff. Let me just try and 3-man it, right? Let's get her back in, let's do that. And let's see, I'm just trying to get Ramses to do his core ability, which that's the one that can go on cooldown. And then after he does his core ability, I should be getting enough, yep, there we go, I should be getting enough. Let me stop it off auto. I should be, oh no, you saw he used it. Let me go again. Let me go again, because that might have not been obvious. But let's do it again. You kind of can follow the turn order. Let me move myself to the other side. You follow the turn order over here, right? So Quetzalcoatl does his first stuff. Then it's Isolde's turn. She does her core ability. And then we have Ramses, right? We have Ramses, and then Ramses does this core ability, right? We do damage. We kill stuff. And then you see it's Quetzalcoatl's turn. Okay, we didn't quite kill stuff. That's good. I guess it makes it be better. Let's see. Okay, he gets his turn. Let me do one skill with her. Let's do Ramses's basic skill. And let's go on to the next one. You see that he starts glowing, right? Starts glowing. And there we go. So first turn, it's Quetzalcoatl's turn. But because their ultimate is ready, I can just use it, right? Boom. I can use his ultimate. I can use Isolde's ultimate. And then only I go with Quetzalcoatl. If Quetzalcoatl had ultimate ready, he could have used his ultimate, and then also the basic or core ability, whichever one was available. So that's something really important to keep in mind, because it's definitely going to be really fun to play around with it, and it's going to, you know, unlock some different strategies because of that. But I guess we're gonna leave it at this for today. These are like the 8 things that I found that were maybe not as obvious, and I think that you guys should be aware of. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this is gonna be helpful. If this is, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel to see when I upload next, because I'm trying to post as much Godforge as I can. And I guess I'm gonna see you all in the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.